Laid back Mickey here, and today we're going to talk about how to upgrade your trike to electric. So there's two main types of electric trikes out there. There's your mid drives and then there's your hub drives. And you know what the cool thing is? A lot of manufacturers over the last maybe 6-7 years have started to go to mid drive trikes. And the cool thing is a lot of them allow you to upgrade it after the fact, like cat trike, tear trike, green speed. And you take those trikes and you go like, hey, I have an old green speed or old tear trike or old cat trike and I want to put a motor on it. Well, you know what the cool thing is? You can, but you got to know which motor you can put on there. Can you put a mid-drive on there? Well, all the new ones you can, maybe if you bought it in the last 5-6 years, but you take some of the older models and you can't. So you take like a older green speed with round tubes and they don't make a motor for that. You got to go with the square tubes. So many manufacturers offer a motor for their trike that was designed for the trike. Like you take cat trike and tear trike and green speed, and they offer the Bosch motor kit. Now you could buy that Bosch motor kit from like an authorized dealer and they could put it on. But let's say if your manufacturer doesn't offer a motor kit, you take ICE and they don't offer their Shimano after the fact, so you got to go with a hub drive. So where do you find a good hub drive? And there's some good manufacturers out there. We use the EBO motor system. Now, hub drive is not bad, but there's a difference between a hub drive that kind of pushes you down the bike trail versus a mid drive that is using the gearing of your trike in order to get you down the road. But when you're buying a hub drive system, you got to know there's a lot more parts to it that you have to add on. And if you don't get the parts right, it's going to be kind of a junky motor system. You got to add on racks for your batteries. You got to add on the right length cabling. It has to be done perfect. Otherwise, you're going to make a system that maybe fails more often than you would like it to fail. That's why I usually recommend getting like a mid-drive from the manufacturer, and it's going to be a lot more reliable. That's the nice thing about mid-drives is there's not as many parts and components to them. It's more integrated, and it was designed for your trike, which is really great. But we've been using hub drives for years, and when done right, can be amazing. And also remember, a hub drive, you usually can get a throttle, where a mid drive you can't. And so there's some benefits to hub drives that you can't get on your mid drive. So if you want to learn more about how to upgrade your trike and get the most out of it, go ahead and subscribe. So let's talk about how do you get it put on your trike. And there's a couple different ways. You can do it yourself, or you could have a shop do it. Now, if it's going to be a Bosch or Shimano, it has to be an authorized Bosch dealer or authorized Shimano dealer. But if you go with Bifong, you can actually get a do-it-yourself kit. Now, the problem with that is a lot of times you need a lot of extra parts that if you're not a shop and you don't have the right length cables, or you don't have the right brackets for your batteries, and if you don't know what you're doing, that could be a big problem. So you're going to have to choose which one you really want. You know, usually the ones done by the shop is going to be a lot safer. And you also got to think about when you're doing it yourself, are you using parts that are safe? Because you have to have an automatic shutoff with your brakes. So if you squeeze your brakes on a lot of the aftermarket hub drives, that it will stop. Otherwise, if you do your brakes and the motor is malfunctioning, it will push her forward. And so there's safety mechanisms built into motors that they have to be set up right. And so you should have a shop do it, unless you're maybe you're a super engineer. But for the most part, have it done right, have it done safe. And here's another safety thing is if you go too cheap on do it yourself and you buy something off of, Amazon or some online site that is getting these cheap batteries from overseas that aren't UL certified, those batteries are the ones that you see in the news causing all the problems, and you want UL certified batteries. And so if it doesn't say UL, don't buy it because potential problems are coming up. And in some states, like you take New York, they have outlawed anything that is non-UL certified. So when it comes down to it, a lot of people want to do it yourself, add-on motor kits, but usually I highly recommend taking it to a shop and having a shop do it. And also, shops usually don't work on motor kits that aren't sold by them or they're not certified with for safety reasons. They usually only work on name brand models and name brand kits that are provided by their manufacturers, and they're certified in it. So you're probably wondering what the cost is of adding motor kit. And for trikes that we carry, for Cat Trike, Terra Trike, and Green Speed, we add on a Bosch mid-drive, which is anywhere from about $2,500 to about $3,000. And then if you're going maybe for a trike that you can't add on a mid-drive to it, a hub drive is about the same price from a shop like ours where it's done right with all the correct brackets. And so yeah, you're spending about $2,500 to $3,000 for a good motor kit. And also, you know what? When you have a great shop do it, there's services involved, and usually they come with a 1 or 2 year warranty on your whole system, including your battery. And you also want to make sure that you service your trike by bringing in your trike to have your motor checked out once a year. Some places say every 8 months, because when you have a motor, you ride it more. So it's going to maybe need a little bit more service on your trike. And know what the cool thing is when you bring it in for service, usually these mid-drive kits, you can plug it in and they could update it. And when they update it, it makes your motor more efficient, makes it maybe a little faster. They have some cool settings that they're always working on. And so updating your trike is cool. Bring it in for service at least once a year. I wouldn't do any less. So when I go out on rides, a lot of people that don't have motor kits, they're riding with most nowadays people that do have motor kits. And they, at the end of the ride, they're all, man, I wish I had a motor kit. So it's easy to add a motor kit onto your trike. Just got to go to your local shop and say, hey, can you help me out? Because I don't want to do it myself. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you put it on today? That'd be awesome. And the next thing you know, you're riding down the road, you're going further, you're going faster, you're hitting those hills easier. That's the cool thing about adding a motor kit onto your trike. So if you like this video, go ahead and watch the next video.